Sean here, long time no see. Today we're unboxing the Surface Duo, Microsoft's return to the premium flagship phone line. And for those who are Windows Phone or Nokia Lumia enthusiasts like myself, we're really excited to see what Microsoft has to offer this time around. For here, they've embraced the open ecosystem that is Android, although they've optimized their apps on Android to make sure that this is a productivity-focused device that has this new form factor, foldable phones, as you see here in the Galaxy Fold. But this time, I've opted for the serious premium hardware that Surface has to deliver their flagship device. So let's go ahead and unbox this. I do work for Microsoft, but we're in totally different divisions. I'm in Xbox. The Surface hardware team, very exclusive, very secretive. So this is the first time I've actually had my hands on this device. That's the front of the box. That's the back of the box over here. Okay, everyone, and folks, moment of truth. A little airtight. And there you have it, folks. You have the Surface Duo. And then as I was talking about with the Xbox Adaptive Controller, they have these tabs here. So I'm pretty sure I could just pull this out and not have to flip the box over. And that's the device. Okay, my immediate impressions. Let's get this plastic covering off. Look how shiny that is right there. And I guess this opens. The plastic is actually on the inside. Well, that's a new one. There's a slight glue right there. Same packaging as we've had for the Surface Pro lines, at least in terms of the plastic wrap. Wow, this looks like a very premium device. Let's look at the outside with the clamshell version over here. This nice like white marble color. It's kind of hard to see how reflective this is, this color over here. Plus, it's so shiny, premium. Look at this line, this metal finish over here. Okay, let's talk about the weight of this. Well, if we're actually weighing this versus, say, a Galaxy Fold over here, I would say this is actually lighter. In terms of Fold over here, what I'm used to, there's kind of the real estate of the screen. There's obviously no middle spine that separates the screen at all. But over here, you get this booklet format, and these actually look close. I see some sensors there. These look like just mirror reflections of a phone. So of the one side of the screen versus the other. It's nice, wide real estate. And then over here, obviously, you have your camera modules. You have some front-facing flash. You have your lock button, your volume rocker, your SIM card over there. And then over here, you have a USB-C charger. And I was actually thinking today this is great because I can charge my Surface Go 2 or my Surface Pro 7, all with USB-C, or even the Surface Book if you have the strong enough battery. This nice spine, but look at this hinge over here. All of the hinges is really just these two locks and hinges right here, and that allows you to fold this over, where once you lay it on the table, you can go ahead and there's no bump at all. So let's go ahead and turn this on for the first time. All right, it feels like you're turning on a Windows PC. All right, so the setup seems to be very similar to when you're setting up a Windows 10 PC. All right, so let's continue. As that updates, okay, Surface Duo bumper. Okay, so it looks like this actually includes some phone case along with it. That's actually something I really like with these modern day devices. Actually, I didn't know this was part of the package at all. Get the adhesive strip, and you can add this adhesive strip here. So I'm gonna put it on without actually using the adhesive to seal it on, because I want to use it bare. But this is what the device would look like if you had the bumpers on this device. So that is actually pretty handy, and I really appreciate that Microsoft included a case in the similar way that the Samsung line included its own carbon fiber case that you have over here. But you're not going to get any protection for the glass back or front over on this. Quick charge, 18-watt charger over here. SIM card eject tool. Manuals for those who are power users in our bed if you ever need to charge. And there you go, a nice thick cable for USB-C charger. Okay, all updated. So let's bring our data skip our assistant voice match over? Sure. Let's agree. All this is changing for context, but right now I'm not actually using it. Let's sign into our Microsoft account as well, which is, I'm only using the right side, and this is not useful to me whatsoever. So if I fold it back, it actually turns this screen all blackened. Great. Except, okay, so now I'm totally ignoring this screen, and this feels like a much more seamless experience now. Next with Outlook. Okay, let's go ahead and, all right, let's look where the fingerprint sensor is. Okay, so right here is a fingerprint sensor. Let's add that. Lift your finger, place it down a few more times. Presses. Cool. All right, and this is the Microsoft launcher. So for those who've seen this before, it should be pretty familiar. All right, just showing us some gestures over here. How to multitask. Move an app between screens. And maximize an app. All right, we'll get to play with that. So this is the singular form, but let's go ahead and get the full form here. All right, and there you go. Surface Duo with the Microsoft launcher. We're gonna go into the apps and see which one actually optimized the use of both of these screens. What I'm seeing is what could be a glaring weakness in terms of apps not taking advantage. And as much as Microsoft doesn't want you to see that there's a spine here, there's a break in the immersion of the screens, there are apps that'll simply force you to see that perspective, all right? So first and foremost, things like photos, sure, it's great that it opens up on this side over here, but if I were to throw that on that side, that's great. The minute I go to the full screen area, you're seeing that line and you've cut the photo right in half. It breaks that immersion experience, all right? So we're gonna test the apps that have been optimized, and also let's put them in what I'll call Nintendo DS mode. So even this way, you're gonna see that spine that cuts right through it. So that's a little jarring of an experience for apps. And this white indicator here is very good so that you can use this to go home. So for Microsoft apps, it'll work perfectly, okay? Because if I press this over here, I can move it, open that, and there you go. It takes advantage of the context. These are all my sections, my pages, and the actual note. That's perfect for an app like OneNote. And then once you've rotated this way, you're back into that screen, but lo and behold, you're hitting those both screens, and now I'm not where my note is. So we know OneNote works perfectly like the booklet style. Let's check out Outlook. Outlook, for example, great, full screen. It takes perfect advantage of the context. Here's my mailbox, and here's my actual mail. Let's see how this works in what I call Nintendo landscape mode. Okay, there kind of breaks that immersion factor again, because once I press back, I'm going to be shifted all the way to where my mailbox was. So you're only mainly going to want to use your apps in this booklet style mode. Okay, so now that I've expanded Edge, well, you get that break again with that spine, so that's not encouraging. But if I go to Facebook over here, there you go. You have that. OneDrive obviously should take advantage of both. So all your core Microsoft apps, and for the most part, I do use these top two and Teams often along with OneDrive and your Office suite. The rest of them, I don't use them that much. Okay, and now for Google, let's see if Gmail actually took advantage. Over here, it actually did, but I'm getting this weird behavior where it's not even broken correctly. You have that spine. And we didn't expect Google to really support this. You think the native Google app would actually work here? Nope, you have that break in spine as well. And again, we don't expect Google to really optimize for this type of form factor. We're all going to be in YouTube, so let's see how that works. Well, there you go. And let's do the film theory here.
Billionaire Elon
We
Musk
get that line in the middle.
Starlink, a satellite-based internet provider that would put
Turn that down. How about Nintendo mode? Well, that kind of works, although it's just a glorified big screen. If I full screen that, you're still at the bar. And then if I rotate this back, you still have that. So pretty dangerous. You want to keep your apps on one singular side. Okay, how about Google Maps? That's probably a great one that could take advantage of the real estate. And it looks like it doesn't. You could have had maps here and maybe with some locations. So it'll take time to have the dual screen access. So my first impressions, this feels very light. That is a little wide for a one-handed phone, I have to say. I don't think I'll be able to stretch if I'm texting my thumb all the way to that side to get that Q or that A. 27 hours of talk time. This has a 3500 milliamp battery, so pretty big for this device. 11 megapixel camera that is only one, because you can flip this over and use that as the camera over there, so that kind of saves you from having a selfie camera. But nothing too special about this camera, say versus the Galaxy Ultra, and 6 gigs of RAM. So all in all, I would say that as much as Microsoft doesn't want to address that there's a break here, it ultimately is. And for an experience, for a first impression, something as immersive as a foldable screen as this Galaxy Fold is just that more magical touch. But the angle they're going for here is a premium build. It's light enough, it's thin enough. I need to play with this more, because the apps that simply work for productivity, Outlook, Teams, those suite of productivity tools, for sure they'll work easily with the context on both screens. But your essential apps like Gmail, Google Maps, YouTube, they're all gonna not take advantage of it, so you're stuck with the phone of only half of what you purchased. So I would say it's a product in development. I need to spend more time with this, but I'll drop the full review pretty soon. Thank you so much for tuning in again, and let's see if we can support officially the Microsoft phone. Looks like there's some growth to be had, but at least there's a unique angle, and we're back having Microsoft on the mobile landscape. All right guys, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.